So what effect will that defeat in the 52-kilogram flyweight division have on the spirits of the Russian boxing team? Making his way towards the ring is the 60-kilogram lightweight representative, Artur Subkhankulov, 23 years of age, in his first season of World Series boxing, preparing for his third contest. Got an even record of 1 win and 1 loss, coming off a win in the quarterfinal over the Italia Thunder. But he knows that despite his efforts now, whatever happens, his team's participation in Season 5 is coming to an end right here. Pose the question, what effect will that victory in the opening bout have on the effect of the visiting team? But conversely, how will it affect the home team? They know that they're through to the final. Will there be a sense of relaxation, perhaps complacency, that comes over these athletes? One would suspect not. In an individual sport such as boxing, Zakir Safiullin is a lightweight representative, 28 years of age. 4 fights so far this campaign in Season 4. 1 win and 3 defeats is his record to this point. He's a 12th ranked boxer in the lightweight division. Real pleasure for him to be fighting at home, just his second outing on home soil, and what is going to be his 5th fight in this Season 5 campaign. And it is Tony Germain is the 3rd man in the ring. Let's get the final instructions.
Keep your head up, keep your punches up, no holding, shake hands.
Maybe there was a bit of language barrier in effect there, but a reluctant touch of gloves ahead of the opening bell. So the first of a scheduled 5 3-minute rounds in the 60-kilogram lightweight division. The boxer wearing black trunks trimmed with gold, Zakir Safiullin, number 12 ranked lightweight in World Series boxing this season, competing in his 5th bout of the Season 5 campaign, competing for just the 2nd time at home. And his opponent, wearing the white trunks with the black trim, is Artur Subkhankulov, 23 years of age, the 25th ranked lightweight in the World Series boxing tournament. He's competing in just his 3rd fight here this evening, got an even record of 1 win and 1 defeat. Quarter-final, he was the victor. So he just takes a long, accurate right cross from Safiullin, but he was the victor over Donato Concesa of Italy. Stoppage winner in the 4th round when Concesa was pulled out due to a head injury that he sustained. By means fair. Long right hand around the corner from Safiullin. And again, using that right hand really effectively against the southpaw in the opening stages of this bout. Big steps when he jumps. Covers a lot of distance around the boxing ring, does Safiullin. Real jitterbug type fighter. Doesn't stand still for very long. Good right hand to the body. Whipped it underneath. Half bolo shot on that occasion from Safiullin. Good left hand at mid-range from Safiullin. Left cross response was short from Subkhankulov. So continuing to pursue him around the boxing ring, Subkhankulov, but he hasn't really had any notable or sustained success to this point. It's Safiullin that is being allowed to dictate. Good right hand again, in and out movement being exhibited by the Kazakh boxer. So it continues to skit around the perimeter of the ring. And so far, Subkhankulov has just been reduced to pursuing him around the ring. Hasn't cut it off effectively at this point. As we approach the final 30 seconds of this opening round, Safiullin appears very comfortable up there in the boxing ring. Long left was effective from the man from Kazakhstan. It's a good left hand that landed somewhere around the shoulder from Subkhankulov. But really, the more eye-catching punches and the greater volume of punches were landed by Zakir Safiullin. What appeared to be a pretty competent opening round for the man seeking his second win in this, his 5th contest in World Series Boxing Season 5. All 3 judges scoring in favor of the home boxer, 10-9 across the board in favor of Safiullin. Here is the legendary Serhiy Sapiev, the Val Barker Trophy winner from London 2012, and how he must be delighted with the team having progressed through to the final for the 3rd time in their history. To the second round we go in this 60-kilogram lightweight bout. Zakir Safiullin, the man wearing black trunks trimmed with gold, the 2-time national champion. Reigning champion as well, having taken the title at 60 kilograms for the last 2 years. And 5 out of 5 bouts in an 8-day span back in November of last year to take his 2nd gold medal. Yurzan Musafirov in the final. It's now his WSB teammate for the Astana Islands, Kazakhstan. Subkhankulov, well, he made it through to the quarterfinals of his national championships, losing to the eventual gold medalist Dmitry Polyansky. Stopped on an injury during that quarter-final. English boxing fans may be familiar with Subkhankulov because he suffered a defeat to Pat McCormack in Kazakhstan back in February of last year. Good double right hand from Safiullin. McCormack, the 2011 World Junior gold medalist at 50 kilograms, right here in Kazakhstan. Just 23 years of age, one has the sense that Safiullin knows just a little bit too much at these respective points in their careers. It's just a little bit too much for Subkhankulov, who's remaining committed to the cause, trying to extend his winning streak and get himself a 2nd victory. He hasn't really had much sustained success over the course of these opening 2 rounds. Make no mistake, he's a very good boxer. I commentated on his debut in World Series boxing, where he had the dubious privilege of sharing a ring with Lazaro Alvarez from Cuba. 2-time reigning World Championship gold medalist, the Cuban. He ended this season as the WSB #1 at 60 kilograms. He's booked his ticket for Rio, got through with a good right hand, did Subkhankulov. But that was Subkhankulov's introduction to the 5-round duration of World Series boxing. More right-hand success from Subkhankulov. And he demonstrated this type of sustained commitment and aggression in his fight against Alvarez, the Olympic bronze medalist from London 2012, and only dropped the decision. Ate a stiff right hand there though from Safiullin. But he only lost a 2-1 majority verdict, so he won't give this up, despite the fact that the opening round didn't go his way. Demonstrated that in his World Series boxing debut against the legendary Lazaro Alvarez, but he's going to need similar type of commitment and resolve here this afternoon. He's facing a very accomplished boxer in the form of Zakir Safiullin. Still, plenty of aggression being applied by Subkhankulov to get back on even terms after dropping the opening round across the board, 10-9. Hasn't managed to do so, but make no mistake, Safiullin will know that he's in a contest, because this young man will continue to press and continue to compete with everything that he has in an effort to get himself a second victory in his World Series boxing career.
Seconds out. Round 3, finish it up.
So into the third round of this lightweight bout. Zakir Safiullin has taken the opening 2 rounds for all 3 of the scoring judges who are using the 10-point must system. For my money, there was a more effective effort, counter shot now. Trip to the canvas. Legs may have been tangled, as often happens between a southpaw and orthodox boxer, but I think the touchdown may have been aided by a glancing blow to the chin. Tony Germain right on the spot, ruled it as a slip. You see the legs tangling once again there. More right hand success from Safiullin. That first leg, 5-0 whitewash, really set up the Astana Arlands in a strong position for this second leg and heaped the pressure onto the Russian team. Unfortunately, they weren't able to rise to the challenge in the opening bout, despite a committed display from Karen Arutyunyan. They weren't able to secure the victory that they needed. So even if they were to win all 4 bouts from here on in, it would still be the home team, the Astana Arlands Kazakhstan, who are through to the final. Of course, boxing, perhaps the ultimate individual sport, mano a mano, one-on-one. Exchange of straight shots there, the right hand from Safiullin perhaps more effective. These boxers will employ all of their mental toughness and professionalism, of course, to ensure that they don't suffer any letdown from the disappointment of a place in the final disappearing in that first contest. Now there's blood on the right cheek of Artur Subkhankulov, trying to get a closer look as to where it's coming from. Doesn't appear to be affecting his vision, but having conceded the opening 2 rounds, he now has the adversity of an injury to deal with, and we're just trying to see where that injury is located. Is it from around his hairline? Get a closer shot, will bring you up to date with that. Can't get a decent look from my vantage point. Blood most certainly visible on the right cheek of Subkhankulov. He's continuing to eat right hands of the arcing variety from Safiullin. Final 30 seconds of this third round. Good left hand to the body from Subkhankulov. Left hand over the top wasn't too far away. Maybe he wants to employ the jab just as he did there to try and drive Safiullin backwards, pin him to the ropes, and then work away with that effective aggression. There's more left hand success for the young Russian. So perhaps in the previous 20 seconds, we've just seen an example of the blueprint he needs to employ. Operate behind a range-finding jab and then work away with that backhand in an effort to get himself back into this contest. Let's see if we can take a look at how and where that cut occurred during this interval between rounds 3 and 4. Some of the left-hand success enjoyed by Subkhankulov during that third round. And he's been rewarded by the judges. He's taken his first round in this contest, 10-9 from all 3 judges in the third, the first round that he has taken. So he can muster a similar effort in his concluding 2 rounds. This contest is going to be very interesting indeed. I'm sure that the status will have been passed on, as it will have been to Safiullin. We want to revert to the status that he managed to implement in rounds 1 and 2.
Round 4.
So 3 rounds completed, 2 rounds to go in this 60-kilogram lightweight contest. Artur Subkhankulov, the 23-year-old, in his first season of World Series boxing, has just taken his first round. Nears that left hand again to begin round number 4. Could we be witnessing a decisive shift in momentum in this lightweight fight? Subkhankulov had a success when he moved in behind a jab. It didn't always necessarily have to land, but then he followed up with an effective left hand. It was a straight shot, it was an arcing shot, it was a long looping shot around the corner. Subkhankulov used it to terrific effect during the course of the 3rd round, but here in round number 4, it is Safiullin who is getting back to using his backhand effectively. A few moments ago, there was a wonderful passage of various right hands that all got through. Again, the crowd here in the National Tennis Center making their presence felt. Safiullin just stole a glance to his red corner, perhaps for instruction and encouragement. Now that's rather naughty. And it's Subkhankulov who got the ticking off for turning his back. But while his back was turned, Safiullin helped himself to a couple of cheeky little right uppercuts. No harm done. Action has resumed as we've just gone beyond the halfway stage. Safiullin scores with another pot shot right hand. Wonder whether Subkhankulov can just tap into his muscle memory from all of 1 round ago and just remember what he did to have the success that he enjoyed. It was all predicated behind a right jab, which didn't necessarily have to land, but it was keeping Safiullin occupied. And while he was busy repelling that, he was imperceptibly changing the distance, getting inside. He takes a good right uppercut as he falls into his man. Here at close quarters, surely this is where Subkhankulov needs to be working away. Safiullin continuing to look to his corner. Inside the final minute of this 4th round. Speculative left hand was of the lead variety from Subkhankulov. No jab to set it up. Seems to have gone away from that blueprint that he implemented. Cracking right hand, and again, double right hand success from Safiullin. He's using that antidote to the southpaw wonderfully. Right hand success once more, once to the head, once to the body. That elicits a fight back from Subkhankulov, but it's not really an effective one. Safiullin just warned for using the heel of the glove. Favorite trick of old timers. Flash of heads just on the bell. So 1 round to go, and after conceding the 3rd round, that was a really impressive response from Safiullin, because he may well have done enough to ensure that Subkhankulov needs to do something dramatic in the 5th and final round. Done enough to take that 4th session for me. Well, that's irrelevant. Let's see how the judges score it. An example of a right hand to the body during the period when Safiullin was spearing his man repeatedly with that right hand. And all the judges have gone for the home fighter. 10-9 across the board, 39-37 for all 3 judges. So a 2-point deficit being faced by Subkhankulov with 1 round of boxing to go.
Seconds out. Round 5. Yes, and shut up.
So into the 5th and final round. Artur Subkhankulov trailing by 2 points in this, the final stanza. Took the round in the 3rd. Terrific basic boxing, but he's being put to the sword here in the 5th round. Brilliant start by Safiullin. Boxing with low held hands, picking his punches wonderfully. He too in search of his 2nd victory, just like Safiullin. Only his 2nd fight at home, so all 3 of his defeats, excuse me, 2 of his 3 defeats coming on the road, but at home, well, he had to face the legendary Albert Selimov. Boxing for Azerbaijan. Selimov, such an accomplished boxer. And that's almost like drawing a short straw. You finally have the benefit of boxing at home, and whose name comes out of the hat? Albert Selimov. Only man to have beaten the legendary Vasyl Lomachenko during the course of his AIBA boxing career. What a terrific rivalry they had in global competition and indeed in World Series boxing, where Lomachenko boxed for the Ukraine Ottomans back in season 3. The remainder of Safiullin's losses have come on the road, so he appears to have taken advantage of the home comforts. Boxing here in Astana, performing very well indeed. Subkhankulov continuing to press. Right hand over the top brings a round of applause from the crowd. And inside the final minute, Subkhankulov is going to have to do something really explosive. Intelligently now, Safiullin has increased the movement, becoming increasingly difficult to track down and making to a stationary target for Subkhankulov, but that's the task he has to rise to. He hopes to get himself a second victory in this, the third contest of his World Series boxing career. Seeming increasingly unlikely as the stand continues to elapse from the hourglass here in this fifth and final round. It's terrific experience for the young man. Already mentioned the fact that he got his WSB career off to a start against Lazaro Alvarez. Touches down for the second time in this contest, but once more it's ruled a slip by Tony Germain. And at the bell, well, the body language of the fighters appears to tell the story of this contest for my money. Zakir Safiullin raised his right fist immediately. He feels he's done enough. He was leading by 2 points, 39-37 for all three judges coming into this fifth and final stanza. He boxed very well indeed. Subkhankulov remained committed, remained aggressive. Surely he hasn't done enough to take the round in the manner that he needed if he hoped to get himself a second victory, Subkhankulov. Instead, the fans here will be celebrating a second win, and this is fifth WSB fight of season 5 for the home fighter Zakir Safiullin. Terrific engine demonstrated by the reigning 2-time national champion. Let's head to center ring and get the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the decision of judge committee. Judge 1, 48-47. Birinchi решение, 48-47. Judge 2, 48-47. Ikinci решение, 48-47. Judge 3, 48-47. Üçüncü решение, 48-47. Winner points by unanimous decision winners, red corner, Zakir Safiullin.
Well, it was a spirited performance in the fifth and final round from Artur Subkhankulov. He took it for all three of the judges, but remember, he trailed by 2 coming into the fifth round, so he needed something big to happen. He needed to put his man on the floor or dominate him totally. Despite winning it, he didn't do so, and so in the presence of the legendary Serek Sapiev, Zakir Safiullin has secured the second victory of his season 5 campaign, and it means that after 2 completed bouts, the home team, Astana Arlands, Kazakhstan, lead 2 bouts to 0, and that is 7-0 on aggregate after 7 completed bouts over the 2 legs.